How's it going? Hello, welcome to another episode of the You Only Live Once Life and Business Innovation Style. I'm Hani, your transformational coach, today for liberated leadership and liberated leaders who want to transform into your most magnificent changes, whether it's in your life, business, or love, health, and relationships. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 ways that your ego is killing and sabotaging your transformations. So first of all, let me define a little bit more about transformations. The thing that's holding you back from changing and receiving the results that you're looking for, whether that's in your life or your business or your health or spirituality, is you and the version of you that you are showing up as right now in your body and who you are. So whether that's in your leadership, whether that's in the way that you manage your energy, whether that's in the way that you are able to stay centered when you are communicating, or whether that's in a way how you react and respond to emotions that are rising from you, or in health, how you are managing your thoughts, how you are managing your stress, how you are managing the input of information and processing it through your body, and how you're managing pain. And in spirituality, how you are managing your connection to yourself and the love that you feel for your inner self. So all of these are areas in which, in the successful version of you, there is a different version of you that can manage, show up, communicate, and create different outcomes by having a different perspective, different belief, different way of being, different way of non-reaction. So there's a lot of automatic responses and automatic reactions and that result from triggers that make us overreact, overdramatic, or create a series of reactions that are based upon non-neutrality. So once you realize there's something you want to transform, there's often a lot of things that are going to be in your way. And let's talk about these because these might be something that you're facing right now. All right. So the first thing that your ego is trying to sabotage your transformation on is the fear of commitment. So very, very likely, you know that there's a pattern that exists. Maybe once a month, you erupt in an emotion of either fear, sadness, or even isolation, or worry, existential crisis, or you're feeling that just, you overwork yourself or you can't sleep. Right? So the fear of commitment to solve that issue is actually one of the biggest sabotages. And it doesn't show up like that. It doesn't actually show up as, hey, I don't feel like committing to it. So the way that that shows up and it disguises itself is by wanting you to not change, wanting you to create all kinds of excuses to not fully commit to the change completely through. So it might be something like, hey, you know what? I'm going to stay in my comfort zone and just do incremental changes as opposed to full on massive change. It might give you an excuse of, hey, it's too risky to invest in a transformational process because I don't know if I'm going to get those results, or I'd rather choose an easier way out, something that I do know already and I feel more comfortable with. Transformation is not comfortable, but it can be fun and it can be guided and it can be playful, which is why I come in. But understand that if you're shopping for all kinds of solutions and you're stuck in the phase of wanting to improve, but you're in that same stage and plateauing, there's something in you that's afraid of committing and seeing all the way through the version of yourself that you need to transform into to create that change. A lot of times when I hear people consider transformation and working together, working with someone who can really support them, time is an issue. Fear of commitment to the time that it takes. Money is an issue. Fear of commitment to the financial commitment that is to create that change that lasts for a lifetime. Create that change that will bring them more revenue, more fulfillment that from love relationships that's priceless, more commitment to the transformation that's going to change their lives. All right. So know that when you do have that fear of commitment, and that doesn't only show up for transformation, right? It shows up for relationships as well. That fear of commitment, or opportunities, that fear of commitment to seeing one thing through. Now, the second fear that people have is the fear of failure. A lot of people are afraid of, what if this doesn't work? What if I commit to transformation and it's a really transformation is going into the unknown, not knowing what you would find, and then coming out the other end, knowing that you found it. But the whole time in it, you don't know what's happening, because it's a whole vast world of going into your psyche, going into your energetic field, going into all parts of yourself that you may not have seen before, right? So the fear of failure of that is huge. It's like jumping in the deep end. Why would you want to jump into the middle of the ocean or even like this deep space without knowing if you could come through? Of course you would need a guide, right? And of course, like, it would be more beautiful if you had the tools. But in order to acquire these tools, it takes a lifetime, and it takes so much training and so much exploration that, of course, you can hire a professional so that they can support you through that road of transformation. And also, the fear of failure stops you from taking action in the best option possible, because you might be afraid of the risk of losing what you invest in, your time, your money, your belief, right? Your confidence. You might feel like if you fail, then you're going to feel even more dejected and unconfident and see yourself as even worth less. And if you have a ongoing insecurity or feeling of needing to be worthy, or feeling of the need to be loved, that might actually infiltrate and hinder that. And so a lot of times the fear of failure is stopping and sabotaging and killing the potential to transform. So once you know that, you can choose, right? You can choose to be like, you know what? I'm not going to fear the fear of failure. I'm not going to fear failure. I'm going to bank on success, because transformation doesn't even just take an idea and allow that idea to infiltrate into your system. Transformation happens when you actually decide that this is my time to transform. And transformation happens when you allow yourself to face all of your fears and still make the decision that is best and most loving towards yourself. Now, the third reason why people are afraid and your ego is sabotaging you from transformation is the fear of success. What if you do have no insecurity? What if you are fully secure? What does life look like to you? That's the unknown, right? What if you have the money, have the love relationship that you want, have the healthy version? What is the benefit of actually having all those crutches right now, right? Maybe you get away with things. Maybe there's hidden benefits and hidden values that's valuables that come out of having these behaviors. So the fear of success is huge, and it's all in the subconscious because it doesn't make sense, but your body wants to hold on to it because in the neural pathway and the chemistry of your body is used to the known. So the success in these areas, especially if you've had them for decades and decades, it's very difficult to change, and it's so intimidating, and it's so confronting and confrontational. And you know what? It can also be fun, and it can also be loving, and it can also be something that you invite yourself. You invite your inner child that feels fear to succeed and coming along with you. The part of you that feels impatient, or the part of you that feels fear of if you would lose yourself in this process. Allow that person to come with you and allow yourself to realize that you can create whatever you want at the end of transformation. A lot of people are afraid of success because they're afraid of all the time that they would lose from maintaining that success. Or what if they don't want to stay in the relationship once they, make it amazing, and they're like, oh, actually this person's not actually that good of a fit for me, and I'd rather stay in it right now. These are some subconscious sabotaging behaviors that are hidden in the subconscious that sometimes we find, and we're like, hey, let's remove that, because
You want something different. And let's see what happens if you succeed and what if you're happy at the end of it and you succeed and you just completely transform these behaviors in your life, right? Bank on your success and see how success can really work for you. All right, now the fourth one is the lack of trust that you can do it. So a lot of people are like, okay, I'm just going to invest in this transformation, but I don't believe that I can do it because there's so many times that I've worked on it and it hasn't made such a big difference. So how do I know that I'm going to improve when I work with you? Improvement and breakthroughs and transformations are something that is in your control on a day-to-day and a second-to-second situation. Right now, right here in this specific moment, you can choose whether you want to trust yourself and believe in yourself in maintaining your positive behavior and healthy behaviors or not, right? Like you can choose whether you're going to eat junk food or if you want to eat healthy. You can choose whether you're going to act out or you're going to come from a place of compassion and the way that you're proud of yourself for being. You can choose if you want to treat someone well or treat someone nastily. You can choose if you're going to spend this time right now on something that's productive or something that drains you. And that choice and the ability to manage your system is a nervous system acuity, right? It's a skill. And this is the skill that we learn in that transformational process. Because once you see and you click into that state of yourself, the maintenance piece is what's going to be there to support you. Now, if you don't trust yourself, it's totally normal because you haven't gotten there yet for the whatever specific goal that you're looking to achieve. And everyone is that way, right? Like we don't set goals that are achievable. We set goals that are outside of our comfort zone. Now, with an expert guide or very specific and methods that work for you, why won't you succeed? Right? And of course, that self-trust will work on it. Maybe if you know that you don't have self-trust that you can actually maintain and create that transformation, then ask your intuition. Get out of your mind because your mind is the one that's sabotaging you, whereas your heart knows that you have the capability to do this. You wouldn't be here in this world facing this challenge if you did not in you also have the capability to transcend those fears and transcend those self-limiting beliefs of you not having the trust and you not having the ability to take one idea in your transformation and infiltrate it into every single cell, every single way you show up. And you'll get so much more than just one idea when you join Liberated Leadership and when you join our Yummy programs, or even anything online, anything you see, anything that inspires you, it can be infiltrated in your system, in your body. And we have different somatic and embodiment practices to do that. So you don't have to feel that you can't do it and let the lack of self-trust stop you. But that's definitely a way that the ego tries to sabotage. Oh, if I invest, 25K into something, what if it doesn't work? And you're looking at it from a perspective of, well, I need it to, looking at a perspective of a payment, like a loss, as opposed to what if this value can be multiplied? What if, I remember one of my clients were saying, I always want to 10x my investments or 5x, or at least make the ROI back in my investment. And what would that look like in my life? And how would I focus on creating that, right? It's a shift of mindset from seeing like, what are you losing versus what are you gaining? How would you gain something? And that allows you to shift from not trusting that you're going to get it to trusting yourself that if you set your mind onto something, you will get through to the very end. And it is, and you'll know when that happens. And yeah, sure, there might be situations where you'll face the same situation and you may not be 100% in the place that you want to be. But transformation is a process, and each layer that you transform through, you learn the skill of it. And that skill is a skill for your life, for your entire lifetime. It is so important. And don't let your mind and your ego get through to you, because in the process of transformation, the ego will continuously get through to you. So even making the decision to invest in your own transformation, you are already battling your ego that wants you to stay the same. All right. So the fifth and the final way that your ego and your mind is killing your transformation is facing the unknown, the fear of the unknown. Are you going to invest in buying a book about transforming, or are you actually going to invest in the physical, experiential, the high-end version of, allowing yourself to fully immerse the immersion of transformation? How are you going to treat yourself to allowing yourself to fully transform in all of the angles possible? The unknown is huge, right? So big. There's so many times where I prefer to take a little bite-sized piece of potential versus the whole thing because of the fear of losing control. But the thing is, when you are able to trust yourself, to know that transformation is in your nature, you don't have to fear the fear of control, because your subconscious mind, your inner self, your inner wisdom, the one that's ready to transform, already knows how to become that. And yes, you can go incrementally and you can hack every single self-belief. You can learn every single coaching mechanism. You can go to school for like 5, 10, 15 years to learn every technique in order to do that. Or you can go through the doors of the fire of your transformation and face yourself and see that it is not only just a potential, a given, a guarantee that you will get exactly what you need from your inner wisdom when you connect with it. I have a way to guide you to connect with that, but also knowing that it's enough and that is all you need in terms of choosing that potential versus the fear of the unknown. You can choose and believe that the unknown is the road to a place that you can't even conceive at the moment, because unknown can mean bad or unknown can mean good. So choose what you want to focus on at the end of the road of unknown. So these are 5 different ways that you can transform the way that your ego is talking to you, and guarantee that your transformation is not only something that is possible for you, but that you are ready and committed to go through. Hire the support, gather the support from people who are experienced in this transformational journey, so that you may fully access the version of you that has already transformed. Because that is what you're here to do. You are meant to break free and break through all of your self-limiting beliefs, self-limiting behaviors, self-limiting parts of yourself, so that you can be even better, even more successful, even healthier, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be in your life right now. It is only in your life, so it is for you to look through it and transform. Okay, so this is Hani, and we run lots and lots of transformational programs for liberated leaders just like you, and also have group programs and lots of different goodies for you. So if you're interested in seeing what transformation may look like for you, sign up for one of our email lists, or sign up for a call to explore that with our team or myself, and let's see what we can do. It's your turn to transform, and I can't wait to see